Pretend you're on an average athletic team, and your next opponent is undefeated and beating their opponents by a large margin. You really don't feel like playing them. What might your coach say to you? Maybe it would depend on whether you're 6 years old or 26 years old. I looked up on the internet what might be some possible remarks. Here are some of them. Face the music. Swallow the pill. Seize the opportunity. Take your medicine. Deal with it. Grin and bear it. Man up. Bite the bullet. Don't sweat it. I was looking for a title for this message. None of them seemed to fit. So I decided on the title Fearless, because that seems to be what I take from the following message. What does this have to do with the Bible, you ask? The phrase is slightly different. Be strong and courageous. Be very courageous. This is God speaking to Joshua. And God tells Joshua this more than once. And then later on, Joshua tells this to his Israelite army. Why does Joshua need this pep talk? Wasn't he and Caleb, who were part of a 12-member spy team that went on a mission to check out the Promised Land? And wasn't it he and Caleb who came back with a favorable report when the other 10 said that the cities are fortified and very large? The people who live there are powerful. We can't attack those people because they are stronger than we are. Caleb and Joshua stood up against the 10. But unfortunately, the rest of the Israelites did not, and therefore they traveled around the wilderness for 40 years until that generation all died out. So why did God have to tell Joshua to be strong and courageous? Moses died, and Joshua now stood in his place as leader of the Israelites. How would you like to step into the shoes or sandals of Moses? Moses confronted Pharaoh, raised his staff and parted the Red Sea, brought down from Mount Sinai the laws of God on tablets, and much more. Even though Joshua had been the understudy of Moses, being in charge is a big difference. It's like being an assistant varsity basketball coach. You don't have to plan the practices or game strategy. You just do what you're told and sit next to the coach in a game and notice things going on in the game that the coach might miss, and then tell the coach so that the coach can relay it to the team. But moving up to the head coach position is a whole new ball game, so to speak. Being in charge brings much more responsibility. So Joshua was going to lead the Israelites across the Jordan River and into the Promised Land and lead them into battle. And we don't know his exact age at this time, but he was probably in his 70s and maybe even 80. You might say that you aren't going to lead 1 million people into battle. What does this have to do with me? Why do I have to be strong and courageous? Well, if you're raising a family, you need to be strong and courageous. Anyone who is doing this knows what I'm talking about. Maybe at work, you're asked to do something unethical. Be strong and courageous. If you need to stand for biblical values in a culture that seems to be moving away from them, you need to be strong and courageous. Now let me jump ahead to chapter 24 in the book of Joshua. All the battles are over, and the Israelites are ready to settle into the Promised Land. Joshua is addressing the people. Now fear the Lord and serve him with all faithfulness. Throw away the gods your forefathers worshipped beyond the river and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. Now comes the part that hit me as I was reading the Bible as a new Christian. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. The day I read that passage, I made the same claim. Maybe if you have not made that same claim, now's a good time to do it. But after you do it, be prepared to lead. Be ready to follow God's leading. Because Joshua knew that he could only succeed if he followed God. May you be strong and courageous in your walk with God.